Welcome to Glowing Success. My name is Heidi and I am your host. This podcast is for beauty entrepreneurs. Join me weekly as we dive into the beauty industry's ins and outs, from business strategies, top-selling services, and taboo topics. I will be interviewing industry leaders with empowering stories and game-changing insights. Let's illuminate your path to success together. Let's jump into this next episode. Welcome back to Glowing Success. Today, I'm going to be talking about I went from fear to feature, the story behind my Skin Deep article. So I'm so excited to share this that I have an article featured in this seasons, because it's their summer season, Skin Deep magazine from Associated Skincare Professionals. And the topic is something that I hear a lot about from other beauty professionals. It's all about struggling and feeling stuck. So in today's episode, I want to talk to you and basically bring you behind the scenes of this article, right? So what inspired it, why this message matters, and how to actually move forward when you do feel like you're spinning your wheels, okay? So if you're listening and you're like, I do feel stuck in my business, I feel stuck in all the ways, this is the episode for you. So one thing I absolutely love about coaching in the beauty industry specifically is how everyone is so unique, right? So like every person I meet, so every business owner I meet, they're all unique in their own way and they're all unique on their journey, okay? So that really always inspires me. But one thing that I feel like that a lot of solo estheticians have in common, specifically estheticians, I work with a lot of estheticians because I'm an esthetician, is at some point in their business, they are going to experience feeling stuck, or like the things that they have been doing to attract clients or grow their business just aren't working anymore, okay? So that is very common, unfortunately. And so I really do focus on this in my coaching business of how to find clarity, how to get unstuck, things like that. So if you're new to the podcast or to me, I talk a lot about clarity, okay? So we're narrowing in on our ideal client, we're simplifying our marketing, and we're getting out of that stuck phase, and we're taking real direction, okay? So in the article, I actually share 4 ways that solo estheticians can reignite their businesses. So today on the podcast, I just want to focus on 2 of them. And of course, I would love it if you checked out the article, gave me some love online, and really checked it out. Okay, so the first way to reignite your business is to reconnect with your why. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, oh my God, your why. And, you've heard kind of the gimmicky, people out there talking about you focus on your why. This is definitely something that we need to dive into. And the reason that so many, coaches and so many other people focus on your why is because it is important. But I really want you to sit down with it, okay? So I really want you to go a little bit deeper than just that surface level answer, okay? So why did you join the beauty industry in the first place? I always start there. So what made you go and enroll in beauty school? What made you go and sign those papers and get all that stuff started? So let's sit down and really write down or put in your phone or however you take notes and start there. Why did you join the beauty industry in the first place? What made you enroll in beauty school? And then we can start to dive deeper into, especially if you've already gone solo and you're a business owner or you're thinking about going solo, what made you want to go solo? What made you want to start that business? And don't get me wrong, your reasons for joining the beauty industry and your reasons for starting your business or wanting to start your business can evolve and they can be different, which is totally normal. I always tell people, ask yourself, what's your why now? So why did you start your business? Why do you want to go solo? And of course, we're going deeper into this, right? So it's not just for freedom, or it's not just for, there's something that's usually a deeper reason, and we just want to reconnect with that purpose, okay? Because once you start to really narrow in on why you joined the beauty industry, why you started your business, it's going to be easier for you to show up and to create and attract clients. And because you're coming from a different place now, this is what I'm doing. This is what's pushing me forward, okay? So for me, One of the reasons I joined beauty school or went to beauty school is I have a couple different things, right? But like for me, I was struggling with my skin. So I was having a lot of acne. So I went back to aesthetics. So I don't know if you guys know my story. Go back and listen to the episode where I talk about my background. But I ended up going to cosmetology school, getting kicked out of that, and then years later went back for just aesthetics. So during that time, I was struggling with my skin. I had lots of acne, specifically hormonal cystic acne, and it just didn't seem like anything was working. I mean, back in those days, you did Proactive, doctors were definitely doing stuff. You went to the doctor. There was so many products on the market, so many different things, and nothing seemed to actually help. Things would clear up a little bit and then I would get it all over again. So that desire to not only clear my own skin, but, going through that process of having lower self-esteem, not being able to show up really in my life how I wanted, I realized you know what, this is something that I would love to help people with. And my second reason is I had a deep desire to make an impact in my own way. So previously I had worked in the beauty industry front desk for a couple different, I think 3 different salons, if I'm remembering right. And, every experience taught me something, but one thing that I always resonated with is I wanted to do it my own way. I wanted to serve clients in my own way. I wanted that unique experience that I could offer, right? I didn't want to follow someone else's path. I wanted to create, my own experience. So that was really my second reason why I joined the beauty industry and became a service provider and also started my own business. Reconnecting with that reason of why you started and why you joined the beauty industry and why you start your business, it's going to ground you. It's going to remind you, why you started. And it's going to reignite that motivation of okay, this is where my path is, right? Okay, let's jump into the second way to reignite your business and to collaborate with other service providers. Okay. This is my favorite. If you guys have been listening to me for a while or follow me online on Instagram, you know that I love collaboration. I think collaboration is one of the strongest, most powerful ways to market. There's tons of ways to market, but I just love collaborating with other service providers. So not only does it build community around you and your business, which is vital, by the way, but it really I don't know, there's something about it that's really about growth and not only that, but growth of you experiencing things from another client's perspective and another service provider's perspective. But it's really impactful. It's been really impactful in my own career. But it also just gives you exposure to different clients in such a deeper way. So, it's more than just a client finding your ad somewhere, or it's more than just a client, seeing your postcard. It's that connection that they have with that service provider and vice versa, right? So when another service provider shares about your service to their client or to their family member or to whoever, there's something there because that person instantly trusts that person already, right? So they've been going to that service provider for their services that service provider offers. They trust them. And so they really build that trust a lot faster with you, okay? So it builds that reach so much faster. You know what I mean? So I love that part about it. But the other part about it is building the community. So in the service industry, we already have a very competitive field, right? And so we don't need any, reasons to have competition and think of that way. So when we start building those connections with each other and respect each other for our unique ways, and we're vibing with other service providers that aren't offering the same service, okay? So if you're an esthetician, of course, you really want to collaborate with hairstylists, nail techs, massage therapists, and this doesn't just stop at service providers. You could network and build a community with other services or other businesses. So, but that collaboration is key, okay? And mostly you're going to want to stick in the service providing realm just because people are going to be easier to jump to different services, right? They already like getting services done from that person, so most likely they're probably going to want to get other services done. But that collaboration, it's so much easier than people think it is too. And I think that's something I hear a lot too is, well, I'm kind of shy, or I don't know how to start that connection, or how do you talk to people? And really, here's the thing. It's about How would you talk to somebody in an elevator? How would you talk to somebody? How do you talk to your first time clients? How do you make friends? How do you talk to somebody that's just like in a place at the same time as you? So it's really no different than starting any other conversation. It's just, you're going to go a little bit deeper with it. You're going to say, hey, I really like getting services done by you, or I really like your vibe, or I feel like we share the same clients. Would you ever want to collaborate in the future? And that collaboration can be, cross promotion. You guys can co-host a small event. You can feature each other on each other's social media. Whatever is unique to you guys and whatever is unique to the client, right? So obviously you're aligning all of this with how the client wants to show up as well. So I highly suggest, if you have not started collaborating with other service providers, please put this on your list to do. Please put this on your mind. Please, reach out to somebody. Maybe it's just a quick introduction. It starts there, okay? But it is a lot easier and it's going to go a long way. One thing that also brings me joy about coaching is seeing others succeed. And I think that's something that I'm reminded of every time I make another connection with another service provider in the beauty industry, is like, I want to see them succeed. I want to see them happy. I want to see them conquer all those goals. You know what I mean? So watching other beauty professionals get unstuck and gain that clarity and step into their confidence, it's empowering in its own way. And it's one of the reasons I honestly wrote the article. I really wanted to share with more people about what I talk about, of course, in my coaching business, but I really wanted to take it to a level where people are like, okay, this is resonating with me now. You know what I mean? And so I just see it online, and especially with everything that's going on in the world, with politics, with everything, you can definitely feel a little fuzzy. So gaining that clarity is vital. So, and being a solo esthetician can feel really lonely at times. So I just wanted to have people feel that sense of community of like, hey, other people are kind of going through the same thing, but this is how I have seen people reignite their businesses. I wanted to create a pathway. I wanted to create a little light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. And that's one of the joys that I get from coaching. If today's episode is resonating with you, if you are like, I am feeling it, I need this, this is giving me life, please check out the article in Skin Deep magazine. It's called Unstuck and Thriving. It's online and obviously in print very soon. So as of this episode releasing, it should be in the mail any second. If you are already a member of Associated Skincare Professionals, you will get the magazine in the mail. If you are not, I believe you can go online and subscribe to the magazine online. Once again, Skin Deep magazine by Associated Skincare Professionals. And my article is called Unstuck and Thriving. And if you are ready to take the next step in your business, get a little bit more hands-on support with me, my Beauty Business Jumpstart program is open. And I think that you are going to love it, especially if this is resonating with you. So I will put the link in the show notes for you to check that out. It is an online, self-paced online course. It also comes with a one-on-one coaching session with me, and you are going to love it. Thank you for listening today. And if this episode helped you in any way possible, I want you to share it with another esthetician who might need that same reminder, who maybe is feeling stuck themselves, and you want to include them in the conversation of they're not alone, and here goes some ways to reignite and get those juices flowing. Well, thank you again for listening, and tune in next week. I hope you liked that episode and found something useful or tip that you can use immediately. And my episodes come out weekly, so I'll see you in the next episode.